Okay, everyone, let's keep this under our hats, on the down low. Not ironically, not the Lennis Morissette version of ironic.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, no, it's, right now I'm, on use a knife and it's raining on my wedding day, so, I'm getting distracted.
Welcome to the Deadzone podcast. Deadzone is the sci-fi tabletop miniature skirmish game from Mantic Games. And now, here are your hosts, Rob Harper and Jack Pike. And I am your announcer, William Randolph Wintergreen.
Welcome to the 20th episode of Deadzone the podcast. In this episode, we discuss a lot from Community Pact. We have some pictures and new cards, and we have a great review. As always, you can go to deadzonegame.podbean.com to see all the pictures we're looking at. And now on to the show. Welcome once again to Deadzone the podcast, episode 20 for early August 2014.
Hey everybody, my name's Jack.
I'm Rob, and we're here again.
Once again, we're going to do the Deadzone podcast. We're going to inform and incite a riot of information to...
I was wondering where that was going.
Bombard your...
Incite a riot of information.
To bombard your brains with all things Deadzone and Mantic, and just to entertain to the best of our abilities.
Yep, we got a lot to talk about. The big Gen Con coming up soon. There should be a lot of information. Wave 2 coming up soon. We're on the cusp of Wave 2.
Yeah, any day now.
We're riding the wave.
The tide of Mantic swag washing ashores any second now. No enforcers. There'll be no enforcers in that deluge, but...
At least not peacekeepers, yeah. But we get mechs, we get some Pathfinders.
Yes. Speaking of mechs, still check out Beast of War.
Yep, Beast of War article. Last one was Mecha-Leka-Hi-Mecha-Hi-Ni-Ho.
That was nice. I was hoping you went with the Pee-wee's Playhouse reference. I was hoping for a robots. Robots, some Nazi robots.
Robots in disguise?
Yes.
They're not robots, though. They're mechs. Maybe the next one could be about robots.
I don't know if I needed the technical, I just needed to hear robots.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But, we'll
so
get right into this. Yeah.
What's new?
First, we have a lot from our good friend, Community Pat, as we like to call him.
Community Pat.
He's got a lot to talk about here, especially since there's a lot going on between Gen Con and... He'd also wanted to mention the new Dungeon Saga Kickstarter from Mantic, new dungeon crawler. And they're kicking butt right now. They're, as we record, at 300,000 in like 3 days, so I don't see this slowing down anytime soon. So if you're interested in some dungeon fighting, kung fu dungeon fighting.
Well, where would we find this this dungeon quest?
Oh, Dungeon Saga? It's definitely at Kickstarter. And yeah, it's in the mold of like Hero Quest, so if you're into that kind of stuff. And you can also go to dwarfkingsquest.com, because it's used to be Dwarf King's Hold was their old series, and this is kind of the next level of that. They rebranded it. It's by Jake. Jake Thornton's doing the rules, so.
Okay, well.
He's their go-to guy, and if it's not Mass Battles, it's Jake Thornton for those guys.
Well, good luck on that Kickstarter.
I don't think they need our luck. They're definitely kicking butt. And then Pat also answered. You asked him who painted the miniatures.
Oh, yes. Last podcast we had seen some probes, some alien-looking probes with the color scheme. That was a bit, it was striking, and we just wondered who had done the painting.
And he says most of it's done by Dave, which you guessed, anyways.
Yes. Okay.
He also wanted to clear something about orcs. He went on a tear about orcs. He's an orc apologist.
Patrick. You are a lovable scamp, and you are near and dear to our hearts. But I don't want to hear what he's going to tell me about.
We knew he was a little off, and this is proof of that.
Okay, well, let's hear what Community Pat has to say about orcs.
Would you like to read his quote?
Okay, I shall. Okay, Community Pat goes on to say. Now, orcs are the best faction. You ask why there is a fascination for orcs? Because every other company ignores the orcs. We at Mantic embrace the blessed of the Deadzone races. It's hard to be a loser in life when you're on top. Hate the game, not the player, as we would say in any Will Smith movie. How hard is it to find them aesthetically pleasing? Mean, scally faces, armed to the nines, with all types of weapons, the glistening green muscles.
I think he's got
a little that got a little Top Gun there at the end there.
He sent us a lot of great pictures of his orcs too, so it's a work in progress. He's starting on his... You can see all the weapons and everything. He's got some gray still on there, but he's working on them.
Hey, he's got the mob beasts in there.
Yep, he's got this whole
Those are some fine. And Community Pat, I'm going to have to agree to disagree.
Well, to each their own.
Are you falling in line with the...
I'm not saying that anybody should like orcs, but if you like them, that's fine.
Yeah, they got to you.
I don't begrudge your... it's not for me, but I don't begrudge your right to like orcs.
Okay, well...
Here's a nice close-up shot of his weapons. Look pretty cool. He's got like a bronze theme kind of going here of his Ripper suit. Here's his regular commando. There's his leader, looking all regal.
Looking like looks like Rob Halford.
Okay.
Yes, the front man from Judas Priest.
It's a weird thing to say, but okay.
Okay, well.
Here's Mobbies. Mobbies looks good.
Yes, working on that. Well, first of all, I have to say thank you to Community Pat for listening and answering our questions, and his input is valuable, and one day, hopefully, we'll have him on the show.
Yep.
I know he just did the Mantic Radio.
Oh, he does. He's like a podcast... the word wouldn't be whore, but he's on it a lot. He's on podcasts.
Okay, well, we'll without using that
I won't
terminology.
say that terminology, but he also sent us shots of his revs too, which is cool.
Okay, let's
take a legitimate army here.
Community Pat's revs.
My favorite part, he's got his nice leader there.
And we're scrolling through these pictures. If you want to follow along at home, see what we're seeing, and take a gander at what Community Pat's been up to, you can follow us at go to
deadzonegame.podbean.com.
And also
on YouTube. You can go to YouTube. You can watch this with sound and video.
Sound and video. So you just have to sit back, relax, and let your peepers and your ear holes do all the work.
Let's see. He's got a nice Grogan. We don't know how they work, but they look good.
Yeah. No, that's and they're a nice looking model. I like the...
Yeah, they're one of the nice ones. And I like his
green Sorak.
Sorak, yeah, he's green.
Green. He broke the mold. He went
he didn't do red, he didn't do purple. He did green.
I'm
proud that he didn't go with what they try to hoist on us.
But you know what? I'm kind of liking that green. That
he looks very lizard-like, which is kind of cool.
That if I had my druther, if we hadn't divided our Soraks and decided to do them a color that kind of matched the Mantic scheme that had been established, man, that is a nice looking. Kudos to Community Pat's choice of that's the perfect green.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like an iguana looking thing.
Yeah, very lizard-like. And it's got some humans. This big Terraton. Terratons are cool.
Terratons are cool.
And there's his Yindish. He did his Yindish like orange, which is kind of cool too. Broke the mold there too.
Well, we've established on our last podcast that it was the United...
yeah, they're all different colors.
Sure. Yeah, and his orange will fit in with the rest of his multicolored, multicultural...
That's right. And yeah, like you said, we'd like to have him on, and he did offer to come shoot the with us, but really, what kind of language is that?
Well, if he wants to come and shoot the we'll arrange it. We'll get the Skype going, and we'll do we'll arrange something.
Yeah, we'll have to do some planning.
A little bit of planning. Now, I don't know, for people who have listened throughout the saga that is our podcast, you know that planning is not in the top 5 of the things that we need to do to get this
it's not
show
something
going.
we're good at.
We don't even even make a pretense that there's Rob does a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. Rob does
just collect
way more. He's a social butterfly and he enjoys getting everything sorted out. But as for planning, no, I'm going to say that it's probably not the forte of this show. But to get Community Pat on, to ask why his nickname's Community Pat,
his new nickname,
even though we're the ones that we've dubbed him Community Pat,
we christened him.
We'll find out why for years and years his nickname's been Community Pat. Yeah, that is worth getting some work done and
we'll
planning.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Of course, he'll be busy for Gen Con, but speaking of Gen Con, you want to know if we were going to go, and I was like, it'd be great, but we're not.
No, again, Rob says that when there's teleporters, we'll be able to to join you in all of the festive happenings, but Gen Con, no.
Gen Con's a lot closer. That's only, I think, Indiana.
I don't even know where Gen Con is,
I believe
or
it's in Indiana.
I know we've had friends that have gone.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot more likely than a Mantic Open Day would be Gen Con. Gen Con's also a lot huger, so that's something that would be, I think, a lot more, once again, planning. Planning, not our forte.
Yeah, and we've got busy lives and stuff. If at some point,
Yep, we'll have to see. We'll see how the world goes.
Yeah.
Once again, though, in September 19th to 21st, we will be at the Buffalo Queen City Con, so that'll be fun.
we're gonna hop across those Great Lakes of ours and see what's happening on a.
Yep.
We've never been.
No, it's a relatively. I think it's only been around for about 3 years. This con, so we'll see how it goes. It's getting bigger and bigger, I guess.
We're starting to dip our toes into the whole game sitch, so we're gonna try with that.
Check it out.
So if anyone's in the Buffalo area and they're planning on going, we'll be there.
Yep. And as a sneak peek for Gen Con, Community Pat did give us shots of the centerpiece of his of the board. It's going to be at Gen Con. Exclusive shots here of the Deadzone Battle Zone terrain. That's going to be
So they're going to debut this terrain setup at Gen Con.
Yeah, they do it set up to show off the battle zones, what you can do with it. It's very cool. It looks like a inside of a complex. And he said that he's going to try to persuade Ronnie to maybe put this out as a special edition with all the different pieces you need for this. So he said it's just random pieces he put together for this. It's not like a certain amount of battle zones or anything.
So they just put this together and it turned out so, and it does. It's got a courtyard in the center, a mezzanine at the top, different rooms.
Kind of reminds me of a prison a little bit, but
it reminds me of a warehouse.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
yeah, that big brick building on the side.
But so the thing is that this will dominate probably the center of the
centerpiece
board.
For the
and it looked so good that they're thinking that if they just take an inventory of what pieces were made.
Well, Pat was saying this, but he also mentioned he didn't even mention it to Ronnie yet. So
Oh, shh. Okay, everyone, let's keep this under our hats on the down low.
I said it doesn't matter. Ronnie's a little busy with the Kickstarter right now. He probably has no clue what's going on with the rest of it.
Still, guys, we have thousands of people that listen to the show, and if we can all just keep a lid on that, we don't want any trouble.
None of us go to Ronnie and say we demand this as a set. That's the key.
No.
None of us go there and just deluge Ronnie and saying that make Pat's centerpiece from Gen Con into a set. Well, it should be all good.
Yes. So as long
Do not mention it.
we're all on the same page. Don't go up and wait in line to talk to Ronnie and then just happen to throw that off. Just like an offhand comment.
Here's a great close-up shot of the walkways around the courtyard. It's amazing what you can do with the battle zones. You always think of it as external terrain, but you obviously can build internal too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and now we're looking down into the open area. And you can see now with the Terraton on there, the miniature. And,
yeah, you see the scale. Yeah,
you can see the scale of just how big it is, and it's a sizable piece.
Because that's just that middle centerpiece. Yeah,
you can start counting the squares, knowing they're. Oh, look at all the clips they used. Someone's whoever you forced to put all the clips in.
I think Pat did this all himself.
Pat, you now have prosthetic thumbs. I have no doubt in my mind because pushing all those clips in, you
sir, have stronger thumbs than us.
At this point, it's going to be bionic thumbs because they were worn to nubs.
Yep, showing off. That's the inside of the courtyard. It's more of the different angle on the thing around the outside.
We have to paint the barrels and stuff, don't we? We haven't painted any of the barrels and stuff.
I think they're just painted black or something like this.
I know some of them are painted black, but I think we still have a bag of light posts and some other stuff.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't really remember.
I'm just...
Oh, there's some stairs, which is cool, from the... landing pad kit. Stairs up some doors.
2 doorways with the stairs. And it's just 2 levels. But you can tell, again, 3x3, you know exactly how high that is.
Yeah.
And it's
standardized.
And it looks... That's big. That's tall enough. That gives the impression of an open space, a big room.
Yeah. I don't recognize these ones. They must be from a different set. That pattern.
We're looking at what looks like a square. Yeah.
It's a cross beam with like some other things. I don't recognize that. It must be from either landing pad or from Fortified, maybe.
And some of them have.
It's weird they have that notch
in the one thing, and whoever built this put that one notch in the same spot in 2 of the locations. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I have not seen that one either. But we're not on the.
We don't have all of it yet.
Yeah, we're still waiting on.
Cool stuff. There's a great shot of it.
That's impressive, and that that if you're looking to hawk some plastic, that's gonna do it.
That's pretty amazing. Imagine playing in that. That'd be so fun to play in there.
But anyone who plays any kind of game will be.
This isn't.
Oh well, I play. You name
any skirmish game like Infinity would be great in that. And yeah, any kind of skirmish game, any kind of skirmish sci-fi game, that'd be perfect. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Room-to-room action and big courtyard. You can have battles in there.
Yeah.
2 courtyards, really, because we got this one at the bottom here, too.
Good looking.
Little command center.
Now, what are those desks in there?
I believe they might be the... either he did them himself, or they might be the Antinotus ones. But he almost looks like he molded them himself. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah, we'll get back to the...
Cool stuff, lots of great pictures. So please, go check these out, because it's just to see the workmanship of this thing is amazing.
Okay. And Gen Con, so they're going to be there displaying this at Gen Con, and I know people will be going. It's a huge event.
Oh, yeah. It's the biggest in North America, biggest gaming event.
So, like for the Mantic Open Day, if you happen to have your camera with you and you want to take some pictures for us, we give you the shout out if you want to,
Yep.
Get hold of Rob, send him an email, get him on Twitter.
Deadzone Podcast on Twitter. Definitely hit me up if you're got some pictures to share.
Because we got pals that have done that in the past, and it's
usually
nice.
For the British ones, but hopefully get some Americans.
Get
some American action in here.
Share your pictures with us, and we'll make sure that you get a shout out.
We will now take a moment for an important message.
Do you like Mantic games? Do you want to read about your favorite games in a monthly magazine? Have we got the offer for you? Iron Watch Magazine. Iron Watch brings you the latest news, articles, and short stories taking place in the Mantic universe. Dreadball, Kings of War, Deadzone, Warpath. You want it? They got it. Ironwatch.wordpress.com. Get it now for the low price of free. You can't beat that at twice the price. That's ironwatch.wordpress.com. Download now.
Welcome back to the Deadzone Podcast.
And also a little bit of news is that new bundles are on pre-order at the Mantic store for the Asterians and the Forge Fathers. You can see these bundles. It's pretty cool. You get the Incursion book, which has all the rules for these 2 factions. So you get like a booster plus the starter set. So it's a pretty cool little set. And you get bonus merc. You get Nemrath for the Asterians, and I think you get this guy, Bjarn Starnfall for the Forge Fathers. So it's pretty cool. You can, if you're really into these groups, they're selling them as army deals right away for pre-order right off their site. It's kind of cool.
So if you weren't happy with the Plague or the Enforcers or the Rebs, and you were like, okay, or you really you got a hard-on for one of those, if they're really something right up your alley.
I know a lot of people want the Space Dwarfs. That's all the time. People are just raving about these guys. They are cool, but they are dwarves.
Then that's good. That's good. And
jump right in there.
And even if you have other people who want to play, and you're looking to have another faction, have someone else play something different. I personally, if given a choice between the Asterians and the Forge Fathers, I would probably go with Forge Fathers.
There you go. I would choose Asterians. So
then, to each their own.
To each their own.
To each their own, except for orcs.
They do look awesome. Well, orcs, come on.
Look at their silly cartoon faces and their space
glistening
orcs.
Green muscles.
Yeah.
We're not judging it, Pat.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Also, another friend of the show, G-Mort Sciatica, has put up. They leaked probably about a month ago a lot of the cards for the game, the new cards for Wave 2, and then they promptly were asked to take them down. But now that the game, a lot of people are getting in their hands, they put the cards back up, so we get to see.
Were those the cards that we reported on our last podcast?
Those are the ones Mantic released, but G-Mort's had a lot more, and we'll see they have a lot more that we haven't seen yet.
Oh.
So we got the Pathfinder on a bike, which is kind of cool. We should finally get stats for that, which is.
You had already kind of got your pants tight over the Pathfinder on her own.
Yeah, I'd much rather have the Pathfinder on her own. What is this? 12 points for on a bike, which is not bad. But the bike doesn't give her much advantage. It gives her a little bit more. You shoot at her, you have a more chance to hit the bike, which is nice. But
okay.
And you get scout and fast, so that's kind of.
And now you as a for your own tastes, you're not a fan of the bike in particular, so...
Not so much the mono wheel, yeah.
So, eventually modding some other kind of, like the Valkyrie, you were no, the Sky Razor.
Yeah, throw her in a Sky Razor instead.
Yeah, okay, so that's now, is it official?
Yep, these are official cards.
Okay.
We also got the Peacekeeper, big guy with the Inflamer.
Mark II Incinerator.
So he's got a big Peacekeeper with Flamer, so always cool. Energy Gauntlets was neat. You get the Peacekeepers with their shields, the
Mark 26 Defender. He's got a big
Defenders,
shield and a Dominator rifle.
I think it's more like a shotgun.
It's got something called Firestorm. So
oh no, Firestorm's automatic rifle. I think that gives I think Firestorm gives you a bonus to Blaze Away. I think. And we also got another Burst Laser, big Peacekeeper, the Burst Laser. Not my favorite weapon, but
no. Oh, look at all these Peacekeepers.
Yep, these are all the hard plastic ones, which we're not going to get until October. But
oh well,
we get the a Peacekeeper with
Happy Halloween.
Yep, Dominator rifle again, wrist blades. Dominator rifle looks like it's the Peacekeeper default weapon. It's like a better version of the regular assault rifle thing.
Okay, and then
pretty expensive though for these guys. 18 points. 20 points.
I was just gonna say, and then they're not cheap. They're not like a. I think I was kind of hoping you would get a kind of less armored, cheaper...
Well, that's what the Pathfinder is. She's that. I just had to get more of them.
Yeah, but okay, I was hoping for more of a foot
unit.
Troop.
Yeah, not yet. This is only, wave 2. We finally got stats for Recon's drone, because we never had stats before.
No, it was just bobbling around behind him.
Yeah, so he's got stats for that. Plague, we got the Plague zombies here. They have Uncaring, Tough, Vulnerable, and Horde. We know what Horde does. Vulnerable means they only get 1 hit point each. But Horde means that in a square, it's +1 dice for each one in the square.
For each one.
And they're tough, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and Uncaring.
I'm not sure. Uncaring, I assume, means you can't pin them. I think probably that makes sense.
Yeah, any of the
they can't Overwatch, and there's no points. Notice there's no point value for them. It's because they're not a plague unit. I think it's only for the zombie
horde.
I think it's for the zombie solo game or co-op game.
The Plague Stage 3Z is probably going to be 10. You need 10 of these for this scenario.
Or at least, yeah. I think when Jake first announced the zombie rules, he said that pretty much you need about 40 zombies.
Oh, okay. Well, I use 10 as just off the cuff, but yeah, that's
because you're just going to be recycling them as they get destroyed.
So rather than like, okay, I'm going to purchase this for my army. It's the scenario says, have some of these.
Yeah, you'd be Plague be fighting these guys. So even the Plague fight the zombies in it.
Okay.
That's a cool picture in the background. I just noticed it's like they always do like the shadow in the background, but it's the zombie face. It's pretty cool.
His particular face.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting miniature. It's
like a Corporation Marine zombie.
We've never shat on them for just being plain zombies. That's a Deadzone.
Yep, it's cool.
Mantic made sure that it's not just generic. It's a Deadzone zombie.
He definitely looks like a Warpath guy. And we finally got stats for the drone for the Rebs.
Good, because I wanted to use one of those.
Yeah, we didn't have stats before. They don't fight. Obviously, they're just
hover, spotter, vulnerable, construct.
Yeah, so. It's good for, I think Spotter would be good for snipers. And Forge Fathers, we finally see the back of the card. We never got to see the back before. It's kind of glowy. And we finally got stats for the Iron Ancestor. He's pretty similar to the other guys, the other X.
So as Striders go, he's kind of on par, 28 points, which puts him up in the higher range, but not much like the Plague. But what has he got here? He's got...
Tough, slow, that's the only bad thing.
He's got the unflinching.
He's got a rending claw, which is kind of cool. AP3 claw with knockback, so he punches people.
Double-barreled magma cannon.
AP4, irresistible, single shot and it burns. It's nice. And an energy shield. That's what separates him. Energy shield. He'll be tough to take down.
He's got tough and an energy shield free.
He'll be tough.
He's a tank.
Yeah, for sure. He's a tank. Yeah.
He'll soak up a lot of damage.
And walk up and punch you in the face.
And he's got that magma, it burns cannon. I don't know. I kind of like
tough.
him.
Yeah. You're getting a little sweet on the Forge Fathers here.
If we were to be getting in late in the game, fortunately you were right on top of this and you jumped on right. Well, it wasn't right at the beginning, but it was in the Kickstarter. Yeah. And fortunately you did.
But now seeing all the units, you're like, Forge Fathers are interesting to you.
Forge Fathers, if we were just coming in now, if we walked in off the street, went to Gen Con and went, oh, look at this big train. Oh my God, this is amazing. I'm going to buy this battle systems. I'm going to buy those Battlezone stuff. Oh, and there's also miniatures. What would I play? It might be the Forge Fathers.
Wow.
I do love my Plague, but at some point I'll want to win a game. So
Yeah, but you don't try to win games either, generally. You
Well-
try to, like, screw around, and your army building is always ridiculous.
I don't want to bury the lead, but after we've done the news, we're going to be playing a game. We're going to take a break. We should take a commercial, actually.
We'll finish these cards, we'll take
Okay, but anyways, we're going to take a break. We're going to play at least one game, maybe two.
Yep, we'll see how it goes.
We'll come back. We're going to do a battle report, and then if we have time, we got something else.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Yep, so here's the Mercs also. We got some Merc stat cards here. We got Wrath.
Who I like. I liked the miniature. I liked the he was during our awards ceremony.
You got some honorable mentions at very least.
Yeah, he was up there for the best Merc miniature. I do like him as
And we got your new girl. She used to be called Kish. Now she's called Akisk. Aquissaiaq. So we'll call her Kish. That's your new.
I will call her Aquisiak.
That's probably how you say it. And she's got a Nuka, which is a big axe. AP2 knockback axe, which is cool. She got really tough at Rampage, which is kind of cool.
But why is she, for me, Aquisiak? She looks like a rebel.
No, she's a plague, I believe.
Is she? Because I
Yeah.
don't see any plague on her.
I think she is. She was originally. I'm pretty sure she is now. Still.
She would have mutant on there if she was a plague, I think. Are
Oh, yeah,
you sure she's
maybe she's not a plague anymore. Yeah.
Well,
She was originally.
or maybe she's a new red hero?
Well, she works for anybody, so.
Oh, she's a mercenary then.
Yeah. And we got Blaine, the classic Blaine, who's in every Kickstarter for Mantic.
I'm coming for you, Batman.
Yep, he looks kind of like him. We got the sneaky Boomer. We got another, we got a orc called Chief Radguard. Big orc guy. Looks like he's almost got a Ripper suit on there. Looks like a Ripper suit, actually.
But he's got that Firestorm
Twin blades.
twin blasters.
Oh, twin blasters, yeah. With a decapitator, which is his big axe sword thing. Cool.
Cool.
We got the Psychic. We got your Dr. Simmons, finally a card for her.
Oh,
See, she works for Plague.
she's a hero.
Yeah.
And they've actually, I don't know if I'll ever use her.
She's got Tactician, so she could be a leader.
That's the thing. Like, I didn't know.
She'll be a hero for us, since we believe heroes are different from mercs.
But look at her leadership score.
Only 2-1, yeah, it's pretty crappy.
That is pretty piss poor.
She's not really good at all.
And what, for 11 points?
Yeah, she's pretty crappy for 11 points.
I can tell you're after Hop, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. I won't be using her.
No, it's
as
weird.
that.
Like, she's almost useless, yeah.
I would use her as just a regular Type 3
Yeah.
if I do a full Type 3 army again.
But yeah, not really. Nothing really good on her.
Shake your head and laugh, but I almost killed one of your guys.
Type
Oh
threes.
wait, no, I didn't almost even do that. And I like the Chovar. I like the
The Psychic, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's a totally different, like, rule set for those Psychics.
And it's just his abilities.
He's cheap, too.
Let me see, 13. It's
It's
not
cheap.
cheap, but
Well, compared to, look at these guys. They're all, like, 27.
look under points. It doesn't say unique. It says rare.
Where's that?
It says the name, then it says the
Oh,
points.
yeah, rare.
Rare.
You're right. Yeah, because he's not a named character. He's just a Chovar Psychic.
So you could have
You could have a bunch of them, yeah.
a bunch of Chovar psychics.
Although you only allowed one mercenary in a army. So that's where it stops him. But, yeah, it's kind of weird that they didn't put unique on him. That is funny.
And since he does work for everyone, he is a mercenary. So yes, that rule does apply.
And then...
Whereas heroes, you can have by our house set rules.
well, unless they're unique.
But in time, even unique heroes, if you can put 2 of them in your army, because they're not mercenaries, they
Yeah,
work
but
for
unique
'em.
means you can only have one.
But I'm saying, like, in time, they're not going to have...
Oh, you mean like you can have one? I mean each model, but you can have multiple of them.
Yeah, well, of course.
You can have Recon and a Sergeant Howlett in your army because they're both heroes.
They're not mercenaries.
They're not mercenaries.
Yeah, see? Only if you're playing by our house rules, though. Don't disregard that if you're a stickler for the rules.
Oh yeah, we're making up rules. Don't we?
We have our own little ways of doing some
Oh,
stuff.
things will be changing. We don't accept things at face value.
No, we've actually been discussing Overwatch, and we might even
We've been playing XCOM. Let's just say that.
we might be playing around with Overwatch next. But anyways,
And Freya Nastanza, she's still just as tough as she was. Like they didn't fix her.
yes, the Stanza is just
Still
as,
evil.
she. Speaking of my fully Type 3 army,
Yeah, she's the one who wiped it out by herself.
she alone killed piecemeal. They just took
Not
it
even a
apart,
chance, yeah.
decimated.
I don't think they even got a shot off.
No, and by decimated, I mean the proper term of it. It was...
No, I think it's even worse than decimation.
10% of my army was eradicated.
Yeah, I think it was worse than that. I think it was worse than decimation.
Well, I eventually, once you just wandered up and just dropped a grenade on a bunch of them.
Just because it was funny.
just for larfs.
Yeah.
When you were mocking the situation with your...
Well, at that point, I was just like, this is stupid, so I was going to do something ridiculous.
You were showboating at that point.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even showboating. It was just like, okay, we know this isn't a real game. And we got Nemrath, who's the hero for the Asterians.
He kind of looks like a cyborg.
And Oberon, which is one of my favorites.
He's got the No pistol, which the first time I saw that N-O-H.
Yeah.
That was the first time it was a shield
Nemrath.
last time I heard. So
Because I think there's no shields and no pistols. It's a no is an energy type for the Asterians.
So is that going to be one of the themes? That's
yeah,
just a...
That's their energy. That big gun, I think, is a no cannon. And then they have, no shield.
Okay.
And then, Oberon, one of my faves. He looks cool.
Who's just cool looking.
Yeah, we like the tentacles.
Marksman.
Then we always get Recon, and the two heroes for the Enforcers, Recon and Sergeant Howlett.
Who doesn't look like Wolverine had his way with Iron Man in that particular picture.
He still does. He's got the Iron Man colors and the Wolverine claws.
But he's got the blue power claws and the armor. Will you be breaking him out for 17 points? We've discussed what I think of the
It's pretty expensive, and his stats aren't great. So I think he might end up being the Dr. Simmons of, because even he's only got 2-1 for leadership. He doesn't have a tactician, so he's not even a leader.
So for 17 points, you might not
probably
be?
not.
No.
It's pretty expensive. Although, let's see, his claws, AP2 claws is nice. And then he's just got a pistol other than that, so it's pretty much hand-to-hand. It's a little expensive. And his stats aren't great. 4, if it was a 3 for hand-to-hand, maybe. A 4 for hand-to-hand, not great.
Yeah, well, so...
But he's got Brawler, which is all. He's got Tough. And we got the Hellfather, one of your faves. You like to look at him.
Yep, yeah.
Another Forge Father. You and your Forge Father. But he can work for anyone.
So he's a mercenary.
He's got that Xerxes cannon, which is, crazy good.
He can work for the Asterians.
Yeah, strangely he can. Which is weird, yeah. Most Forge Fathers can't work for Asterians.
And the Survivor.
Yep. Tough, resourceful, that's cool. He's got a shotgun. And that's all of them.
Good.
Plus we got stat cards for the Dreadball teams. They're in that one scenario that Dreadball, you have to protect a Dreadball player, so they gave us stats for a Deadzone, just a standard guard, a standard jack, and a standard striker. What their stats would be in Deadzone, which is kind of cool.
Okay, so they were they're toying around with the idea of having, that was like the first, they dipped their toes into it, and now we have, in case your Deadzone combat area happens to be by the training pitch for the Dreadball destroyers, and they have to fight for their lives. Well, now you could
get some stats in here. Yeah.
We've got some stats now that a Dreadball team could fight a.
Although most of them have one use because they just have a
Dreadball glove.
Yeah, so it shoots the ball once, so it's a one-use ability. So.
And it looks like they can actually check people, get them into the boards with a knockback.
Yeah, the ball. Yeah.
So
they should have a hand-to-hand. Well, I guess they do have hand-to-hand. Yeah, so they can fight hand-to-hand no matter what.
And it's 3, so they're
this guy doesn't have weapons, so he's got a 4 hand-to-hand. So he'll still just go punch somebody. He's a brawler too, so you don't need a weapon to do damage in this game.
No, so
they're still tough.
That's interesting.
And it is actually. I never really thought about it. I always think, well, they don't have any weapons, they can't do anything. But you can always check people. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And we'll finish this section off with a shout-out.
Aren't we doing a commercial? How are they supposed to know what we're talking about if an elderly gentleman doesn't describe who the company is that we are doing this podcast for?
You have been listening to the Deadzone podcast with your hosts Jack Fike and Rob Harper. Deadzone is the tabletop game from Mantic Games. Please visit them at manticgames.com.
And we're back.
We're back. Now you know who it is that we've been discussing. The
if
company.
You've been listening all this time and didn't know there's a thing called Mantic.
Mantic Games at manticgames.com or something.
Check out their Kickstarter. It looks good. And there'll be more.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what are we up to now?
We got a great shout out here from the Barber, aka Jeff S. He's
better be a good one. You know I've soured on the shout outs.
This one is a good one. It's He's at QuiffProQuo on Twitter. And he's a friend of Jake Thornton's. And he's a playtester for the game. And more importantly, a fan.
Oh.
And he listens to us as he power walks. And he sends us a great pic of his Teraton.
Okay.
A nice red Teraton.
A red Teraton with the armor, and
he looks evil.
He does, and I like that he did all the straps.
And
he
even
got
the
all
teeth in his eyes, and it's great detail in him.
It's good, and I don't know what kind of picture taking device he used, but that's a nice look, and it turned out. I don't have a camera that could possibly
anything that
it would be wasted. All of your talents, sir, would be wasted with the devices I have.
He appreciates anything that can take a clear picture.
Yeah, I do. And scroll up again. Let me see the what was it? It was the barber, Jeff.
The barber,
S.
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, sir, for your shout out. And while it doesn't recapture my love of the shoutouts that I had for a while, I think it breaks even. I think we're...
Well, how about this? I got a new shout out here from a new source.
What?
Evil Harry Dread off of YouTube commented on YouTube for us. If you go to youtube.com user Evil Harry Dread, that's his place. He let us know in our YouTube comments that the silent rule, we were talking about silent rule last time.
Because one of the mercenaries had a crossbow and had silent rules.
Right.
He was the Yindish.
Oh, he's not. Is he a mercenary? Yeah, he's a mercenary. Yeah.
He was a Yindish.
Yeah, he's a Yindish. Anyways.
And he had silent. We didn't know as we were recording what it meant. So
Yep.
Evil Harry
Let's
is
know.
enlightening us.
His silent rule means any action using a weapon cannot be used by any other player to trigger an Overwatch action. So you can't be Overwatched again.
Oh, so his movement would still be Overwatched, but if he were to shoot...
If he's just shooting, nobody can just... If he pops out to shoot, you can't Overwatch again.
Oh, okay.
And it's only used for weapon, though. Other actions such as move can still trigger an Overwatch. But then, I after we found out this, I also looked up. Stealth is the opposite. It lets you move as a long action, but you can't move Overwatch against it, so you can like sneak up.
So, okay.
So it's a long action, but it makes it un-Overwatchable. So if you're like, there's a guy waiting there, you can just sneak. And this, I think, is why Overwatch has to be improved, because both these abilities are kind of useless against the current Overwatch. Current Overwatch just kind of blows.
Yeah, you did bring up Overwatch, or did I bring up Overwatch? Either way.
Earlier? Yeah.
Ironically, not the Alanis Morissette version of ironic.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, no, it's, right now I'm, Anya's a knife and it's raining on my wedding day, so, I'm getting distracted. Not ironically, coincidentally enough.
Coincidentally, yes.
We had just been discussing Overwatch, and now, Evil Harry, has enlightened us, and that's nice. Thank you, Evil Harry, and again, check him out, on YouTube. It's, youtube.com, user Evil Harry Dread.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have to take a look and see what he's got on there.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's
he's got any videos for himself.
Entertaining.
We're always looking for new YouTube videos because we do love our YouTubes.
Yes, it's a nice community to get involved with for this kind of thing.
Yep, lots of great information, painting tutorials, or just
yeah.
I love unboxings. That's like my thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like how I live vicariously. I can't buy everything, but I can watch people open it.
You sure try.
I do try to buy
it. You do your goddamn best. There's nothing that escapes your peepers are peeled for that kind of thing. So yeah, well then.
Yep.
Yeah, well, those are the shoutouts, and thanks again. And if you wanted to reach us and give us your opinions on anything we've discussed, anything that we've, especially like we're making up some house rules as we go. We're making some.
Or if you have house rules you'd like to share with us.
Yeah, we're making some bold comments about the abilities and or aesthetics of entire race in the Mantic world. If you have some comments to make, please, and we'll give you a shout out.
Comment on YouTube or comment on Twitter. We'll catch them.
And if you've got an event you're running, like we've done that in the past,
sure,
we've made sure that people who had their game store was running an event, we made sure that we let the listeners know, and we've done some other things. So just keep in touch.
And we got some pics here too. Also, Mantic released a picture of some zombies attacking a Rebs at a base, which is kind of neat. It's got the zombies all around, the Rebs at the top. It's a very tall tower. What's that? 4?
4, yeah. 4 is nice.
And zombies. This guy's screwed. He's supposed to become a zombie.
Yeah, well, the guy beside him, too. The Yiddish beside him.
Yep.
They're surrounded.
They're about to be eaten. And we'll have another quick break here. We'll hear from Adam.
Okay, everyone.
Prepare. Gird your loins. Actually, I turned it down a bit. I think we'll be okay.
That's my favorite bit.
That it's so loud. It's still pretty loud.
Okay, well then disregard everything I said. This guy here in the production
Fixed it.
in post production's fixed it, but
I'll turn it back up for you. How's that?
Okay.
Well, this will be loud. Turn
Okay.
down the radio screen.
Listen to Adam, and we'll be right back.
This is the Strike Zone.
Yo, Dreadball fans, the Strike Zone podcast is all about entertaining, educating, and informing you about everything Dreadball. We record twice a month, are an hour long, and are child-friendly. You can look us up on iTunes with the keywords Dreadball and Strike Zone, or on our main website, www.moremoreradio.com.
Enter the Strike Zone.
And welcome back. We'll have a little discussion about the stuff we've been working on. And we worked on some stuff. I did some weathering on the... we had some buildings. I did some weathering. And put some decals on them. I think it turned out alright. Looks kind of like it's rained on. Acid rain got to it.
The picture doesn't do it justice.
Now it looks better in real life.
It looks better in real life.
Yeah, I think it turned out alright. It's alright.
And your camera is capable of taking pictures like that.
It is. That's my phone.
That's your phone.
And I also bought there was a sale after good old Mantic had a sale because of the World Cup. So I used that opportunity to buy a Rebs booster because we didn't have the Rebs booster. So I made some Rebbies up. We got the Craw, the Doctor, a couple of Z's, and the Heavy Weapons team.
Now I had mentioned the Craw when in the pictures. I didn't have a sense of scale when I saw the miniature. When you said, "Okay, here I got these and I painted up," it's much smaller in real life, and even like in the pictures with the wings and the stance.
You thought it was big. Yeah, you thought he was like Teraton size.
Yeah, it gave the impression his stance, because it's an animated stance. It's not like a static. It gave the impression of size, and I was surprised that it's just a regular sized person.
Yeah, it's not huge. I like how the Doctor came out.
Doctor looks awesome. You went with like a traditional gray alien look, and I think that's if
Did a lot of washes on his armor.
If more come along, then I think that's the aesthetic we're gonna look for.
There's the old Craw, big guy, and good old little Z's, which we found out are cloned, mutated monkeys, which all makes sense now.
It does, but they don't have tails.
Yeah, they should have tails.
If they
must have cloned out the tail.
And
here's the Heavy Weapons team, and actually it's not in this picture, but later I magnetized the base so that they're actually magnetized together, and then you can take them apart when one dies.
So you can move them as a unit, and then I like the armor on the.
Yeah, it turned out good. I like how the wash took on there. You can see all the lines.
Your painting's really improved.
Yeah, it's. And I also like how it got the. If you actually see it in real life, the shark skin on the Seraph, they're Sapphire. What are they called? Sapphire. It's kind of got a luminescent, like a
beetle carapace look,
or like shark skin kind of.
Like it's wet.
Yeah, kind of like a. Well, so you can see it there a little bit, where it's got a little sheen to it.
When we first started the podcast, we hadn't been in miniatures, and it was, and you had always said, "Oh, I wish I could get that look, that shadowed look in the armor, and get. I don't know how they do that. That's amazing." And now, now a year later, I'm looking at it, going, "Well, that's exactly what you wanted to do." Yeah,
that's what I wanted. Yep. I wish my enforcers would look this good.
Well, in October, you got another crack at that. You got another kick at that can.
Yep.
Those look really good.
Yeah, I think the Heavy Weapons team's my favorite for sure. They turned out really good, and I really like how the Sapphire looks with the shark skin.
And again, you were discussing what you like to see on YouTube, and again, I was just getting. I had no frame of reference for painting miniatures and like that, and I ended up looking at painting tutorials.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I watch a lot of paintings,
and it looks like it's paid off because those look really good.
And we me and Jack did a combo here for some Forge Fathers.
Let's not go into the whole sordid tale of why it's a combo.
Well, here's Jack's. He started him, which was a great start, really. He did like a. The black isn't. You did it with the testers, right? You did it with enamel paint.
No.
Oh no. But
no.
It looks like it. It's got a really nice shine to it. I thought for sure it was enamel.
No, it's a cheap Walmart paint.
Oh well, it turned out really nice.
No, what had happened was he had built them and said, "I've got too many miniatures to paint, and you should paint them." And I got them, and I did the base coats. And he had painted one that was bright white, almost like a.
Yeah, he was almost like a fantasy dwarf.
Yeah, he was very highfalutin, and so I said, well, if he's going to be a leader of this group and wanted to stand out, I thought, well, I'll go the exact opposite. So I went with the black and red, and I I think I did a base color and a really light dry, not light dry brush, like a dry brush of red on the cloth, and I did the black, and then a light silver on the edges.
Yeah, because that black is like, when you look at it, it looks like it's multiple layer. I thought for sure it was enamel.
But I didn't do the weapons. And to be honest, the detail, I didn't love doing it, and I just couldn't get into it. So I was like, okay, here, and I just handed them just with the base coats on.
But I love that, because my hardest thing for painting is finding what colors I should use. So you did like the hard part for me. So I got to embellish them. So now they got bronze weapons. Bronze, like, looks like oily kind of weapons. I did like red eyes and did some shading on their clothes and stuff. So they turned out pretty good.
That is actually a nice looking miniature.
So that silvery black, that I didn't do anything to that. That's just what you did. That's what I thought was like something special. They turned out pretty awesome. And I like the bronze in comparison to them. I really like these guys. There's a bunch of these guys with they got a different head, and I really like them. Little beady eyes.
Wow. Yeah, and you got
yep.
All the armor looks beat up. All the cloth looks good. No, you did
these guys. Yep. Turned out pretty good. And I see the weapon there. I did the opposite. Usually I do it bronze and then do a black wash. I did it black and then did a bronze wash on them. So it kind of turned out kind of different. I thought it turned out kind of cool.
Well, we're going to have to see what they look like in a battle sitch eventually, because you've got yourself.
Oh, we got tons of dwarves, yeah.
So we might be playing a Forge Fathers-esque skirmish at some point, and they look good.
Yeah, so it turned out pretty nice. So we realized we've been yapping for a long time. We try to keep these episodes about an hour.
Yeah, and we're creeping up there. So a battle report might not, because we have to discuss the house rules. We get into the battle reports. Could be a full episode.
So I think we're going to do maybe a special. Maybe we'll do 3 episodes this month.
That could be.
And we'll do Battle Zones as a whole episode, no news, no nothing, just talking about it. Probably a little shorter. Probably won't be able to talk. Well, we might. We tend to yap on.
Play a couple games. We'll play it by ear.
So right here, let's instead we'll do a review.
Which was our kind of our option if the time allowed it before.
Who knew that we could talk so long?
I don't know. I think because our show gets kind of interactive like that.
We start discussing things, which is a problem.
And Community Pat's got so much to offer.
That's true.
So
he's like our 3rd member now.
Well, Community Pat, Rob, Jack, and Community Pat. I'm gonna get that T-shirt made up.
Oh, with little hearts.
Yeah.
Rob and Jack, heart, Community Pat.
We do love Community Pat. He's a lovable scamp.
So
Community Pat.
We were contacted by Secret Weapons, who you loved. I think they probably heard about you loving their washes.
Their washes.
You did gush about their washes.
And I do. If you're looking for washes, they're so good.
He loves them so much he won't share. I don't get to use his wash.
Well, you can. I've got enough.
Yeah, you bought the whole set, so you got 30 washes.
It's a lot.
So they sent us some bases to check out, which is kind of cool. We started out basing our stuff with clear bases because we thought it'd be cool that way, but over time we found that basing is kind of fun.
Basing is kind of fun, and
who knew?
Well, the first one we went with clear bases because we wanted to be able to put them on different terrains. We didn't have anything really to start with. Again, we were not in the hobby, so whatever we could bodge together.
We also wanted to show off the Deadzone terrain by showing clear.
The clear bases worked for our pictures, for our show, for us to be able to put it on different stuff. So it had its time. But the first time I based something was the Scout little proby thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did a rubble base.
It had the stick coming down, and I didn't like that, so I had to. And that was interesting. And now we've started basing other stuff.
I got all those bases from Sedition Wars, which was kind of fun getting into the actual made bases, not just making our own.
So I think, just as timely as it was that we've decided that basing is something we're going to get into now. These, like the prodigal son that they are, Secret Weapons deposited on us 3 packages of...
No, 4.
4?
4 packages, yeah.
Oh.
Yep, they gave us, let's see if we can have... They gave us beveled bases, Alien Temple, Tau Ceti, Asian Garden, and Iron Deck.
Oh, okay, yes. I thought that perhaps the Tau Ceti and the Alien one were the same one. Yeah,
they're not the same, yeah.
Because when we got them, you just gave me half.
Yep. There's 10. Each package has 10 bases, and we each took 5 of each.
Okay. And so what did you do with yours? Well, I know what I do with mine, and we'll start with you because I saw the end results, and mine will pale in comparison to what I got up to.
Well, you haven't quite got to yet. Well, here's a shot. We're gonna have lots of shots of these bases.
What I was on the impression we were going to do was do a little review, but just to take you painted them all to finished production. Like you literally have they are done. But
that's my thing. Your thing is to experiment. My thing is to get them done.
So you'll hear me screwing around and basically just making.
You get both edges here. Me just showing the end result and Jack showing the process. But here's this is the alien temple, I believe. It's cool. It's got little. When I separated them, I didn't look at them, but I ended up with both the ones with little skulls on them.
I have one with a little skull on it.
Oh, did you? That's good. Yeah. I'm glad you got one of those then. It's cool. I like the alien temple one's cool. And the Asian garden, I think, is my favorite. Even though I don't have any army that would really use it yet, but I love the little bamboo, and I think it's my favorite one aesthetically.
And when you dropped them off, you said, "I don't think we'll be using these ones."
Yeah.
And you were kind of like,
because I was like, well, we don't really have something that would work with it, but
disregarded them, and
Well, you'll see the end results, and we also got the iron deck, which is cool. It's got all the plating and stuff.
Now those can work on any.
Yeah, it could be steampunk, it could be futuristic, could be a little bit fantasy, but I think steampunk or futuristic.
Futuristic or even modern day, it can work. Those are pretty standard. Like if you're looking for versatile, that's the one I went with. And
then we also got the Tau Ceti, which is a little alien kind of looking. And for me, when I was doing it, I went with the iron deck. I went with a rusty kind of look. The alien one, I went with purple because I never use purple. And with the ruined temple, I went with like a desert kind of feel.
And the picture's right there, and you can see they do look amazing.
Yeah, we got some closer-up shots too. There's the little skull in there.
And now, if you want to describe how you did,
I did it desert yellow, and then did some brown dry brushing. I added some coarse sand around the skull to give it a little extra texture, and then I did Army Painter dark tone. And I washed the whole thing, and it turned out awesome.
It looks awesome.
A lot of dry brushing going on there. And then these ones I dry brushed with the plate ones. I did like gunmetal or something, and then I dry brushed with orange to give like a rusted look. And the purple ones I did a lot of molding with between purple and blue, like a real crystal blue from Army Painter. Gave it a little bit of wash, so it gave it a little texture on it. And then here's my Asian garden ones. They're my favorite.
Which turned out really well.
There's a lot more to pick out on these ones, so it's a lot funner. Like there's sand, there's rocks, there's bamboo, so it had a lot more fun doing it.
They look amazing.
Once again, a lot of dry brushing, a lot of dark inks. Yeah, worked out great. So what were you thinking about them?
Well, first of all, I like the material they're made of.
I believe it's resin.
It's a light.
I think it says, let me look in the package.
It's a light plastic. It comes in as you see, a gray. Now, I didn't...
it doesn't say what it is, but I think it's resin.
I didn't even prime mine. What I did was I started... The one thing... My favorite ones, I think, are the decking ones thbecause they're versatile.
Nice. And the detail is so thick on so deep that you can really get stuff going in there.
But the alien one is nice. The Tau Ceti one's nice. Some of them are taller than the other ones.
That's what I found was weird.
I appreciated that. I thought...
Did you like that? Yeah.
If you want to set your models apart and you get one of those packages...
Your guides will end up on different levels.
It kind of... Because one of them's pretty high.
My one decking one is like a good half inch.
And I really like that.
Be good for putting general on it, so he's higher than the rest.
A little higher, right off the package. I like the material it's made of. I like the detail of it. I like the aesthetics of it, and I like the fact that they're something as simple as just making them thicker. Very very small details, but all together really worked. So what I did was I didn't prime mine. I experimented by trying some different washes on them. I didn't take any pictures. Because literally...
you wiped them off.
Then I wiped them off, and I tried this, I tried that. And now knowing that we were going to display them prominently like this, maybe...
I wouldn't even... If you don't want to paint them, I wouldn't paint... I'd wait till you're ready to put them in an army so you can get them themed.
Well, the decking ones, for sure, I would want to paint. But, so I I played around with colors and saw how they took and stuff, and now seeing yours and you see what the possibility. Like I'm kind of glad I didn't, because you got it. You nailed it.
Well, I did. Mine was much more solid. Like I went for like solid colors, and I didn't do it like you could do it really like subtle. Mine is not subtle at all.
No, and I started playing with the silvers and stuff on one of them to kind of guess what I was going to do with it. So in time, maybe by the time we do another battle report episode or something like that, or something, it won't be the unboxing of the Wave 2. Like I'm not gonna. Oh, everyone, just wait. I know we've all been waiting for this to arrive from Mantic. We all want to see what's in it. But first, here, I painted some bases. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
but,
we'll get it in there sometime. We'll show off the painted bases.
Yeah, I didn't have time to really get into it, so...
So let's talk some pros and cons about these things.
Yes, we'll give our rating.
Comparing them to, like, just the cheap Sedition Wars ones that come just with Sedition Wars, the detail on these are so much deeper, and so much crisper. Like, it's not even a comparison. They are so much better quality. And obviously, they're specifically made to be better quality. But you can see the difference why you can see the quality for sure. There's not even a comparison between, like, just the cheap ones that come with the game. Because they are deep, like, detail and really, like, a lot of crisp, different... like, it's so subtle, like, little skull and things like that. It's
little skull, and on some of them there's it could be mounds of dirt, but it also could be tufts of something, or rust. Like, and just a little tiny bit, but, like, it didn't even need to be there.
You can pick it out, or you don't have to pick it out.
That's the thing. It didn't need to be there, but if you were looking to accent something, it's there.
Yeah, it's and they take washes amazingly because of all the detail.
Yes, because it's the recesses are deep, and when sometimes you're washing on something and it just sits on the top
because it doesn't have anywhere to go.
It doesn't have anywhere to go. So what?
You like the different widths. I kind of found that as a con. The difference in depths was a little high for me. It was
because the one I got is really high. I thought, if I had a real showcase miniature, I'd park.
See, for me, I was thinking more of actual gameplay. I was like, well, that would change the gameplay because it is so high, that one miniature. But
for Deadzone, it would give him an advantage to
or
see
a disadvantage
higher
over
walls, or a disadvantage because he's not protected by walls.
So I guess it ends up working out. But you could always cut it down. Like it's totally possible. You get a saw, you just slice it down to make it thinner.
Or just revel in its...
you don't have to, for sure. But I'm just saying that might be... People I kind of consider that a con, but not you. You obviously consider it a pro, so...
No.
And the pricing is... You'd think that it'd be... if I looked at them, I would think it would be more expensive. The MSRP is $10 per pack, so it's $1 a base. That's not horrible. But I've seen them for $7 a pack, so you go shop around, you can get them much, good discount on them. And I think it's worth it. Like, if you were going to do a whole army, to make them so that they all have if you're not willing to make your own bases and do your own basing, this is amazing. Like,
right. If you didn't want to just, some glue, some sand, and a dry brush, or if you're...
Or trying to do molding, or trying,
Well, I'm going to make a lava base. I just botched the hell out of that.
Yeah.
This is
so much easier. Like, and this is not even their full selection. They have so many different bases options that you could...
Well, if you want to take a look, like you said, we got 4 here that we took a look at. But if you wanted to look, it's secretweaponminiatures.com.
Yeah, no S. Secret Weapon Miniatures.
And I would say for $10, $1 a base. If I was basing a full army, that could get a little pricey. But for a skirmish game, two packs would do an entire a squad.
So yeah, that's 20 guys right there. But even if you're doing an army, if you're putting that much money into it, you want your bases to look awesome.
And they do look awesome. Just look at yours.
I think you would have to definitely pin them. I don't think there's any way you could glue most of them. There's some of them you could probably glue too, but like the Asian ones, you'd have to pin them for sure.
Yes, and as just a frame of reference for my skill level, I've never pinned a model. I've never had to.
No, I've never pinned a miniature either.
So
it's not anything hard. I just never felt the need.
So it would be something else that I would have to.
I like that this one has the one Asian one has a boulder. Maybe you could put your guy foot up on the boulder.
Yeah,
he could be a leader.
Especially with the hot water treatment, you could change his foot around and make him standing proudly on his...
Yeah. I love these bases. They showed me, like, I never would have thought to buy bases until I got these.
Well, that's a rousing endorsement.
It is, for sure, because...
I did not expect that from you, to be honest.
Because I was always like, whatever, I'll throw some flop down, I'll throw some gravel down. Or even, you go to Eons of Battle, they show you how to make bases. It's like, that's a lot of work. This is so much nicer, and they turn out so much better. Like,
they kind of do,
all that work you'd put into it, you wouldn't get this quality. Like, that's the thing.
And even if you did, the hours it would take to make, like,
if they were trying to make bamboo and stuff.
Wow. So that's more arousing than I thought. That's more.
Me too, because I never would have thought about buying bases, but now after doing this, I'm like, yeah, I would. If I was doing a whole army, I would probably buy bases for them.
So obviously a thumbs up. What's your verdict on that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, if you're looking for basing, secret weapon bases, they're such nice detail. That is the thing.
Well, okay, then for me, I didn't paint mine yet, so I can't say.
You're just going by what it looks like.
What you were able to accomplish and my experiments, because I was doing color. You just went all out.
Yeah, I tend to.
I was doing color swatches, seeing what would work with whatever.
I'm a speed painter.
So
I'm a speed painter, and it turned out these are probably the best things I've ever painted.
They look amazing. They look amazing.
Like the bamboo, even if you actually the picture doesn't even do it justice. I even did so it looks like the streaks along the bamboo and things.
So. Keeping in mind that I haven't painted mine yet, but I did some experimenting with them. I looked them over quite a bit, and I've actually I'm going to say that basing for me, especially if we get some more stuff, that these bases deserve good-looking miniatures.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I have no miniature right now. I have no miniature I'd want to put on these bases. It's almost a detriment because they are too nice.
A crime, and with that in mind, it would be criminal for me to put my crap on one of those bases.
It's like
I'm gonna give them 4. I should be less lazy and do more hobbying. Out of 5.
Yeah, I think they're 5 out of 5 for me. This is
because I have no excuse not to have actually painted, knowing we were going to record and knowing that
I didn't actually expect you to have them done. I just knew I'd have them done. So
the review was a maybe for this episode, so I should have taken the time.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
And
you build stairs.
I had to work on my deck, and have a household maintained. But yeah, so I do feel that I will amend that 4. Do more hobbyings out of 5 when the time comes when I do paint them, and I will.
And we finally get some miniatures worthy of these bases.
Get some pictures, yeah. So so please take a look. Go to.
Yep, check us out at deadzonegame.podbean.com. We're on YouTube, and I think that we'll have to wrap it up here.
Yes, this has been a long episode, and I'm glad
we'll be back for some battle reports.
Maybe
we promised them. We'll get them in.
Yeah. Plus, we got the afternoon, and we're gonna have to play. We got to keep our skills up. We got to
test out some new rules we're thinking about.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. So without further ado, we will bid you a good day, sirs. Good day.
Wintergreen, take us out.
Here is your host, Rob, to tell you how to contact us here at the Deadzone Podcast.
Thank you, Wintergreen. You can listen to us on our website, deadzonegame.podbean.com. You can email us at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at deadzonepodcast. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Join us next time for some more of the Deadzone Podcast.
Vinland Old Time Radio.
It is to laugh.
Bastro! Ahoy there, Dirigible. Help a fellow Empire citizen out with you.
It's a Gavo, a haunted Gavo.
Have you read The King in Yellow?
Hello, William.
I made the koala burgers.
So what's new?
Are you insane?
That better be a rhetorical question. And yes.
For far too long.
I once knew a Spaniard in Tarragona who spoke in gibberish like you.
Up, and escape!
That was terrible.
I should be a god, and instead I'm stuck down here like a worm.
She would tell me such wonderful stories.
Dr. Deja Vu will return.
Africa's a continent?
It's with great protest.
Don't eat your G pudding.
Ooh, now that's some fine programming.
VinlandOldTimeRadio.podbean.com.